Captain Paul for the Locker Room here. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. We're trying to reach 2,000 before the end of the month, and let's get into it. Sidney Crosby wants to go back to the format where it was 1 through 8, and that's what determined playoff seeding. And this is his quote regarding it. I like 1 to 8. The regular season, as difficult as it is, teams should be rewarded, and I guess that's probably the best way you should be rewarded. I like that version a little bit better. The NHL changed their playoff format years back because they wanted to make division rivalries a big thing again and incentivize teams to really not like each other because they're playing each other so often. Top 3 teams of each division will make it, and then rounding out each conference, the top 2 teams outside of those guaranteed 6 spots can get in by the wild card. Now, I understand Bettman's idea getting this, making rivalries become a thing, having the divisions matter, but it has made the playoffs extremely predictable and, to be completely honest, boring in a sense. You get the same Toronto-Tampa, Boston-Toronto, Boston-Tampa. Like, there's just nothing new, nothing creative with that. And I feel like it gets old and tiring. Whereas the 1 through 8, you would have various different matchups and could create new rivalries. And to be completely fair, if you're the #1 team in the NHL, you should have to face a lower seed. Yes, the #1 team plays the wild card for the first round, but the second team overall is stuck playing the third team overall in their division. And that's not truly rewarding teams for having successful seasons. Going back to it, when it used to be 3 divisions in each conference, when you had the Southeast Division, the Northeast Division, and the Atlantic Division in the Eastern Conference, the Northwest, Pacific, and Central Division in the Western Conference, it made the matchups far more entertaining. The only one that was guaranteed a playoff spot from any division was the top seed in each division. And for example, in 2011, when the Boston Bruins won the Stanley Cup, they were the 3 seed because they were Northeast Division champions, but in 4th place, the Pittsburgh Penguins had more points with 106. Personally, I feel with the 1-8 format, there's more parity, and it's less predictable with playoff matchups. Now, will Gary Bettman do that this year? No. Will Gary Bettman do it at all? I mean, I feel like he can be quite stubborn with some things, like trying to make a franchise in Arizona work. It's been there for a long time. It's just never really taken off. So I'm not sure if he'll want to go away from his baby that he created, but it does seem like the players and the fans would be more interested in seeing a 1 through 8. Because while yes, division rivalries are great, especially when they're very heated and they're competitive, I feel like you got some very interesting matchups certain years that created new rivalries and just overall made it more fun to watch. I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are down below. Should they go back to the 1 to 8, or are you completely content with what they're doing now? I'm Captain Paul. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to reach 2,000 before the end of the month. See you in the next video.